For this week's Summer on the Bay, we'll be joining a waterman as they go crabbing on the York River.
Hey everyone, we're on the York River this morning in Perk Bay. As you can see, it's a beautiful day, and we are crabbing. And this is what I do as my side hobby. I go and crab on the York River, peeler pot specifically. So what I do is I have these pots, and I go and set them. And sometimes I leave with no bait, or sometimes I use a jimmy, which is in the bottom, a male crab, to attract the females to come in the pot. And I set them overnight, sometimes 2 days, and then I come out and fish them the next morning. And what I do is, once I get some crabs in there, I open it up, and then I dump them in my tote, just like this. And then once they're in my tote, I put my pot back down, and then I get to cull through them. So what I'm looking for are crabs that are about to shed, because I shed soft crabs. So like when I'm looking at them, this is a female, like we talked about in the other video. You can see her pointy apron compared to this one, which is a male with his rocket chip. And I can't legally keep jimmies to sell, but I can keep a basket of males to rebait my pots with every day. So that's what I do with my males. I'll keep them down there in that basket, and I'll rebait my pots with them. So when I'm looking for peelers, see this one is a peeler. If you can look right here at her fin, there's a little red line right where my fingertip's pointing. So that tells me it's a red peeler and that she's gonna shed soon. And if I grabbed this jimmy right here, he's not a peeler, because you can see right here, there's no red line on his flipper. So that's how I tell the difference between a peeler and a non-peeler. And so when I know it's a peeler, I'll go ahead and see if it's cracked, so I'll feel under her shell. If she's cracking right here, that means she's gonna shed soon. And if it doesn't pop, I put it in my, these are non-cracked right here. The non-cracked in here. And then if I got one that was cracked, this one might be. No, she's non-cracked as well. So this one is non-cracked as well. So if you get the gist. So if I had a cracked one, I'd put it in my other basket, and then they would shed sooner than the ones that are not cracked. Hey y'all, so we have another pot here, and as you can see, I have a few crabs in it. Not as many as the last one. But over here on this side, there's a crab that is soft. So this is my entire goal of what I'm doing today, is I'm going for soft shell crabs. And so mine that I usually get are peelers, and I shed them, but sometimes I get ones that are actually soft. As you can see, this one's completely soft, and I'll be able to sell this one to my customers. And one thing I also wanted to mention is that the hard crabs, the males, have to be 5 inches, and all my peelers have to be 3.5 inches right now. And I do have call sticks for that, so this is my male call stick, so that's how big they have to be. And then this is my female call stick, and that's how big they have to be. And once you do it, after a while, you can usually get it by eye. And that's why I don't usually have to measure them, but if they're smaller, I'd measure them just to make sure. Hey everyone, so we just got back from crabbing. And I'm going to go and show you what I do with the crabs once I get back and how they shed out and everything real quick. So this is my main shedding tank. I have a couple that I keep in the water that are for my crabs that aren't ready to shed yet. So I put all my red crabs in here that are about to shed, and I watch them for a couple days. So when I get back, I'll usually let the water drain out enough so I can see the crabs in here. It takes a second. And I can already see a couple of soft crabs swimming around on the top of the water. There's one over there, one over here. So that's a good sign. And so I got some water out. So now that I drained a little bit of water out, now I'm gonna look around in here, see if I can find any soft crabs. So I got one right here. This one, it's a female. You can see her apron on the bottom, her red claws. And here's her shed probably. So this is probably her shed. You can see how much bigger she gets just from that one shed. I usually take the sheds and I put them in a basket behind me, and I'll give them away. Some people do art with them, or some people will put some in our garden as fertilizer as well. That's what we do with the sheds. We need some more sheds, a couple soft crabs. And the tank right now, it's not too many crabs in here. During the like during a big run is what they call it. You get a lot, but I mean there's a few in here that I have to keep an eye on. And you can't let them go for too long, or they'll get too hard and you can't sell them. So now that I've gotten most of the soft crabs that I can see out, I'll go to these little containers right here. So I have this little rectangle container for my busters, and those are the ones that are about to shed. So once they shed, they become soft. These are soft crabs. I'll put them in there. That's where I keep all my soft crabs at. And get some of the sheds out of here. Put them away. And then I have another soft crab right here. And so there we go. That is. And these are the soft crabs and busters we caught today. I haven't shown you one yet. So this is what a buster looks like. And you can see he's backing out of his shell right here. So this is his old shell, and this is his new shell that's coming through. So he'll actually back out of the shell. And I'll have a video of a time lapse of one coming out. Y'all can check that out as well. Got a few soft crabs in here. Here's another one. You can see he's starting to bust right here. It hasn't got as far as the one we just looked at. Okay, soft crabs. The shed in there. So there all those are. And then so we're all good there. So next I get all the feelers we caught today right here. And I'll dip them in the water for a second. Get them. So if you just take them out and dump them, they'll get angry and pinch each other a lot. And we don't want that to happen because that creates more of a chance of them not to shed. So a problem a lot of people have is when you have crabs like this, they'll pinch each other and then they'll get stuck in their shell, and those are called stills. So once they become stuck in their shell, they actually can't shed out properly and they'll die. So we don't want that to happen very often. Unfortunately, it happens sometimes, but I'll go ahead and dump these. Usually I let them walk out on their own. Sometimes you can help them. But you can see they'll start to swim out in the tank. And you can see a lot of them are the females. So we talked about the V apron like that. There's not too many males right now. It's because of the time of the year. So there we go. That's pretty much it. And then once I'm done, I'll turn my tank back on. And usually I'll check it every 2 to 3 hours, depending on how warm it is. The hotter it is outside, the faster the crabs harden. So when it's like 100 degrees, you'll come here every hour and a half and check them. Take the soft crabs out and put the busters in their little square.